Good, what's good, what's good? How we doing? How we doing? Yes, sir. We in the building, we in the building. What's good with the chat, yo? What's good with the chat? What's good with it? Austin Leonard, what's good? He said four turnovers, 16 quarterback hits, over 300 out of car, bounce back win. Can't help but think an event of the last week lit a fire under these men. Yeah, man. Big win, big win. It was a must win. We had to come out with a victory on this one, most definitely. Hey, how y'all feel about how we bounced back this week, though? Let me know. ONT6 pulled up. Yes, sir, my boy. He said, what up? Shout out. Shout out to the O line. Wow, Sanjeet was right. Just going to take some time. Yeah, man. You knew this O line was going to take some time to kind of develop and get together, but I think the play calling, we're going to get into it, man, but I think the play calling had a lot to do with it. Most def. Anthony pulled up. Anthony Red Tiger. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure y'all hit that like on the way through. Man, Max defense. Yeah. Max was going crazy. Max was going crazy this game. He was going crazy. Let's see who else in here. Anthony. He put the question marks. What's up? What's up? Yes, sir. B. Owls in the building. Rodriguez was good with it in the building. Exo Sounds pulled up. Feeling great today. What's good, right? What's good with the Exo Sound? Glad to see you could pull up on us this evening. Yes, sir. Aaron's right here with us. What's up? What's up? Tassie in the building. Pizzle in the building. Was cracking, man. Yes, sir. D. Raider pulled up. 510 Raider. All right, man. How y'all feel about? Let's go ahead and hop right into it, though. It was a good. It feels good to get that victory, big time dub. You know, we scored 34 points in the last couple games. We haven't scored that many points, but man, the offense was looking good. The offense was looking good. It looked like it was clicking, getting things together, and you can't help but notice there's only one thing missing. So we'll get into it though. It's gonna be an interesting conversation. Aaron, what's up with it, man? Arkham Raider in the building, yes sir. Yes, sir. Joey Boy Raider in the building. Yes, sir. Nature Boy. What's happening? What's happening? Anthony Carter, Derek Carr could have threw for 500. We let up 6 minutes left. Yeah, we let up. The defense kind of let some things up. The offense kind of let some things up. But at the same time, you got to think. At the same time, you got to think. We don't want to do anything crazy. We still put up 34 points. Still beat them by 10. They had to do a lot to come back. It's a big win though. Let's think about it like that. Sir, Dank Room Studios. Carr was able to open up. Yeah. You look at some of those throws. Look at some of those throws. When he made that pass to Drake, he was standing in the pocket. And if you look at his footing, he does not move his feet. He's just standing there and he makes the throw. Like, that's golden. You don't see that much from quarterbacks. He did not move his feet at all. He just stood still in the pocket and just lobbed it in there to Drake. And that was a beautiful throw. That right there is super underrated. Yes, sir. Raid, hell of a game. Yes, sir. Hell of a game. The offense was looking good, but it was interesting because the offense kind of dwindled down. So let's talk about it. He said we ran a screen play for the running back. Exactly. Yo, we've been talking about this, man. I swear, I feel like I've been screaming it. Like, yo, can we see some screens? Can we see some screens? And finally, we get a screen, and man, it opens up a lot for us. We were literally run a screen, and then the very next run play, Drake runs it in for a touchdown. It just opened a lot for us. It helps the offensive line as well. So while we're on the offense, let's go ahead and just continue to talk about it. You might as well. Let's throw up some offensive grades. I want to hear your offensive grades because that's what I'm most excited about. That's what I'm most excited about because we've been so stagnant these last 2 weeks. 14 points against the Chargers, 9 points against the Bears, that we really needed to find some continuity and an identity on the offense. And me personally, I said in my past lives, my past videos, I said, I kind of felt like nothing. I don't want to. It's crazy because Gruden's not here anymore, but I felt like it was the way Gruden scripted plays. That's pretty much what I thought. And then you see we come out right here and we score on our first drive, which is crazy. So JD, appreciate the comment, man. He said Ray was good. Just tapping in from Crenshaw District, South Los Angeles, Raider Nation. Appreciate all you do for us, yes, sir. JD, appreciate you tuning in, man. Shout out to LA. All sorts of Raider fans out in LA, big time. That's how we get them them home games in LA when we play the Chargers. Y'all be showing up. Y'all be showing up. First super chat, right? Hey, that boy ONT6 says, Raiders, 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 Raiders. I love that we took the deep shots earlier, could keep their safety deep. The run game looked good. Most definitely. Taking those shots deep opened it up in the play action game behind the linebackers. And you've seen that when we made the throws to Hunter Renfro, we made a throw to Brian Edwards. It would open up that gap behind the linebackers when you open up when you send it deep early. And it helps open up the run game, like you're saying. So it's just an interesting combination. And we finally starting to mix it up. Finally. How about Kenyon Drake? Yeah, finally stepping it up, man. He got a nice throw from Carr, made the catch. That was real nice. And then the run, boom, one cut, and he was gone. And that's what we needed. That's what we've been looking for in Drake. Just that one cut and being gone, taking off. Although it wasn't that long of a run, but I mean, the play right before it was pretty stout as well with that screen. What's good with you, Jamal? How you doing, boss? Yep, A minus. So let's get them grades. Let's get them grades in the chat. I want a grade for the offense. Let's get them grades for the offense. We got an A minus from Tassi. Quinn Booker says A minus for the offense. Okay. Okay. You know, I give a B plus. I give a B plus for the offense. I don't give it A just for the simple reason that we couldn't finish a couple drives that I feel like we should have. I feel like when the defense gives you the ball in the spot they did in Denver's territory, then you got to score. You have to come away with points. You could say that's on special teams because we missed the kick, but at the same time, you have to get a touchdown. Like you have to get a touchdown when you are that short of distance. So for me personally, I give a B plus, which is still a good grade. I think we did great. There's a lot of great things to talk about, but Anthony Carver says A. Arkham Raider A minus, B plus from William. Yes, most definitely. A minus, B plus. See, it could be either or. It could be either or, most definitely. Jamal with the B plus. So B plus, A minus is that basically we're on the same stuff. We're on the same stuff. Thank God they pulled the Meek out the game. You know, I'll be rooting for Meek. I'll be rooting for Meek, man, but it was tough. It was looking tough for him, and yeah, he ended up getting benched, and then we ended up seeing I don't even know how you pronounce his name. How is it? Facing? Facing? Something like that. He ended up coming through and playing pretty well, man. He ended up playing pretty well. And Son Joku in the building, yes, sir. Shout out Son Joku, who said Carr is finally playing his game. No Gruden equals wins. It's tough to say that, man. It's tough to say that because of the way Gruden went out. But you know, you got to keep it real. You got to stay honest and say, hey, we opened up with a touchdown this first drive, and the only thing different was Gruden. So it's kind of interesting, but we got to give it time. Also, we have to give it time, give it 3 to 4 games to see if this can be consistent. If we have this offense consistent, right? Because we've seen the first few games of this season where we come out where Carr's just throwing like crazy. First 3 wins, and then we go down the last 2. So let's just stay patient, see if we can have some consistency with the offense. And hopefully we do. Hopefully we do. We got so we're looking at about an A minus. We're looking at about an A minus, B plus from the offense, which most definitely I agree with. A on both sides of the ball, great bounce back game, saved the season and showed that this team can deal with adversity. Most definitely, it did save the season because 4-2 has such a big difference in just the way it sounds to saying 3-3. Like if we would have gone down 3-3 after starting 3-0, it would have almost been like we're having an early season meltdown. Like usually we start breaking down like that, having losing games and so many times in a row in the middle of the season after being like 6-3 or something. But man, after going 3-0, after already going down 2 games, we had to win this one. Yep, Grab pulled up on us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know, big win. If you ain't watched, me and Graf was live pregame. We was live pregame, and man, we talked about it. We said the offensive line had to show up, which everybody already knew this. And another thing, we knew that Derek Carr was going to have to really do his thing. He was going to have to do his thing. He was going to have some weapons. Again, I feel like the run game still wasn't the place we wanted to be. And Graf actually would hit a lot of those over-unders. That's what's crazy. A lot of those over unders he hit. We scored a lot of points. We still scored 34 points, and Drake ended up getting 2 touchdowns, which is crazy. So shout out Graf. He hit on those over unders. Raider 78. Yep. Solid B plus. That's what I'm saying. I say B plus as well. He said ONT6, appreciate the super chat, dog. Say, can you do a video breaking down the first drive of the last 2 games? I would love to hear what you have to say. Yeah, that's an interesting one, man. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna most definitely have to do that. That's a good one. Appreciate the suggestion. Most definitely gonna have to do that. DMZ, is Malcolm Kuntz ever gonna see the field? I don't know what's going on with Malcolm Kuntz, honestly. He's just always inactive. I don't think it's injury related. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him being hurt, but it's interesting that we haven't seen him. Maybe he just has to bulk up, or we just haven't seen enough from him as far as the coaching staff. Because the coaching staff is really just picking the best guys to go out there and play. What it seems like. Falone was scratched today as well, which is interesting. Brought up Square and Vickers, so you never know. Maybe if injury takes place, then we'll see Kuntz. But right now, it looks like he's got to step it up. Yes, sir. Charm City in the building. Appreciate you pulling up with us, dog. Salute the chat. Yes, sir. Chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way through. 4-2. Let's go. Anthony says, yes, sir. All around good game from the offense to defense, even special teams. Beside that missed field goal, yeah, the missed field goal was the biggest one for me. I feel like you got to make that. You got to come away with points. When your defense gets you a turnover, you have to come away with points. You got to. Graph. Teams will adjust. We need to stay aggressive. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got to find that consistency. But like you're saying, teams will adjust. So we have to continue to do something different. You can't just come out this game. Yeah, we have a new play caller. Carr is being able to have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to running the play. But at the same time, you guys have to understand that teams are going to watch the film. Okay, this is what they like to do, and then they're going to start going to that. And that's potentially what could have happened to us when we started out 3-0, and then teams got enough film to where they're like, okay, we're going to be able to stop them when you see this, when you see that. So we have to find that continuity and that consistency. But today we definitely found the continuity, and it looked good. A 6'2" corner, face on, was a baller for a few snaps. Yeah, for sure. Did he? I believe he ended up going out as well. He ended up getting hurt or something like that. But I think he came back. So we'll have to keep an eye on that most definitely to see if he comes back, because the depth at our cornerback spot is looking kind of slim. First 2 drives we passed on the first play. Yeah, the first few drives were looking good. The first few drives were looking pretty good. Yeah, they were both pass plays. Yep. They were both pass plays. And that's the thing. Our offense just looked like it was a lot better groove. And me personally, I think it was the play calling. I think it was the play calling. That's why we're looking good. Ryan pulled up on us. What's good with you, boy? How you doing, man? Peter, it always kills me when people talk about maybe it's Gruden that was holding the offense back. Gruden's offense was the first 3 games, just like the last 2 games. People seem to not get that. Yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? He was the one doing it the first 3 games, like you said, and the last 2 that we lost. So it's an interesting thing. Ray, you have to be stop being so nice. We won this game because no Gruden. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's not even that I think is being nice. Is that you got to understand we won those first 3 games. When we won the first 3 games, nobody was really saying anything. You know what I mean? Excuse me. But then we lose the last 2, and then all of a sudden people are like, "Oh, this, Gruden is this, Gruden is that," because we lost the last 2. But when we won the first 3, nobody was really saying too much. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I just like to be a little bit more try to be as transparent as possible. I don't want to be a homer or nothing like that. Basically, is what I'm saying. I don't like to just be completely biased. Your thoughts on Faison? I think he did pretty good. So far, everybody has spelled his name differently. So far, everybody spelled this man's name differently. I think he played well. He made some big plays. He came up, made that PBU. that interception, was, wishy-washy. It was pressure, and then it kind of just came straight to him, like it was quick though. He had fast instincts and he got the ball, so that was pretty legit. That 2.5 on Carr's TDs though, you feel me? Hey, shout out Greg. Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Because he had the 2 touchdowns. Yep. Jacobs had a touchdown. Carr had 2 touchdowns, and then even Drake. And then Drake had his. Drake had his passing touchdown and his rushing touchdown. So that right there, that's 5 touchdowns from the offense. That's beautiful. That's dope. Let's get it. Smoking that donkey pack, y'all. That's funny. Do you believe our D line and DBs feast like they did today, next week versus Philly? I think we'll be fine against Philly. Maybe not feast as much, but I think we'll do fine. Just for the simple fact that you guys got to think we've already played mobile quarterbacks. Last week when we played the Bears, though, it didn't seem like the offense was really clicking, so it was harder for us to come out with the dub. But if our offense continued playing like this, and then our defense plays the same way it did even against the Bears last week, I still think we win. And we didn't even play that well on defense against the Bears last week. Today we played pretty well on both sides of the ball. So most definitely, I think we should get the dub against the Eagles. But one thing I don't want to happen is that the team put so much emotion into this game that we came out with the dub, but then it's like we hit a super high because of all this emotion, and then I want us to go crashing down like the rest of the season, or having like a really wishy-washy season because of all the emotion. So that's something I'm definitely looking out for. Hopefully we could just stay level-headed and it's not like a crazy roller coaster or anything like that. We need this consistency, right? We need this consistency. If we're gonna beat a team like this and with such a point spread, I think we need to do it with consistency to show that we're an actual contender for these playoff runs. Because now, from what I believe, we're at the top of the AFC West. You know what I mean? So Quinn Booker, it's a red shirt year for Coons. He has to get bigger. He was only 248 when we drafted him. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like if we need to bring him in because of injuries, then yeah, of course. But I feel like most definitely he's kind of that red shirt guy. He just got to put on some weight and really kind of learn that system, learn his role, especially because he was getting some work at linebacker, I believe, in the offseason. And then even in the preseason, I believe they put him at linebacker at one point. And I don't think it worked out that well, but he needs to learn that Leo role, basically what Yannick does. Anthony says, love our coaching staff. They adjust, put the right players in, pull the players out when need be. Yeah, I just like the fact that our play calling was so legit. Like, you don't know I was screaming for a screenplay. That's all I wanted. Was like, yo, can we do screens? Can we do a screenplay, please? And then finally, boom, we hit a screenplay, and it was a beautiful play. Went for big yards. We have to play lights out every game. Exactly. We have to play like this every game and show consistency. And my biggest thing was I want to see Carr go out. And I said this pregame. I want to see what Carr does. That was my biggest thing. I want to see what he does going forward because everything's really on him. Everybody knows he got the ability to make a change at the play calling. So he could get a lot of blame now. John Gruden took a lot of blame beforehand for anything that happened because everybody knew that John Gruden had control of everything. Now that he's gone, a lot of blame will be dispersed, and Carr will take some of that blame. I will be one of those people to sit there and say, okay, Carr needs to pick it up at a certain point, but he's played well today, and he has to play at this consistent level, and we have to have the play calling continue to adjust, not only adjust, but be consistent in their success. You can't have another, okay, we can't win the next 2 games, right? And then crash and lose the next 2 again, just like we did at the beginning. You can't have that. You're not going to get the respect of people around the league and from other teams and from the fans. The fans want to see that consistency as well. Greatest comeback story of all time. Yeah, I feel like if we go a little bit further, we have to go into the playoffs for it to be a great comeback. We won this one, but we still have a long way to go. We still have 11 more games. 11 more games. Think about that. We're only about a third way through the season. JD, we forced a lot of turnovers and stops. Didn't turn them into points, though. Offense was kind of stagnant at times. That's what I'm saying, JD. And I agree with you because when you get the turnover, when you get the ball on the Denver's side of the field, let's figure out where were we on that point. Okay, let's see where we at on that point. Interception. We got the ball. We intercepted it. Okay, we got the ball on Denver's 49-yard line. We got the ball on Denver's 45-yard line. We had the ball 1st and 10 on Denver's 24. We have to score in that situation. You have to turn those into points. Like, even though we missed the field goal, it's like, dang, that's cold. Anthony Poe, he said, I love seeing the screens today. Yeah, we need to see some more of those. But you got to, when it comes to screenplays, you have to call it at the right time. Because when teams starting to learn, like, oh, they like to run screens, you can't really just go out there because then they'll just blow it up. And those are turning into turnovers quick. I think he's talking about face on. He came back, he cramped up. I think Son Joku talking about face on. Appreciate you pulling up, Son Joku. Shout out Son Joku, man. Y'all already know to subscribe to the bro and tap in with him. He been doing the Reddit thing for a long time, for a good minute. Jill Pat, this Bronco Pack in. Lovely, brother. Yes, most definitely, man. This that feel good. So I think Carl was calling the plays. I wish we could know like it's specifically who's doing what at what time. But even in the press conference, he said that it was Olsen that made the play call to go to Drake for that touchdown. So it was pretty. So he gave his credit to Olsen on that. I wonder if the rest of them were in Carr though. You know what I mean? I like how Carr was calling audibles, playing more freely. Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. All right, now let's go over to the defensive side of the ball though. Let's go with these defensive grades. What do y'all give for the defense grade? How do y'all grade the defense today? You feel me? I want to know what y'all think about the defense and what kind of grade you would give them. I feel like as a whole, we've been playing pretty well as a defense all year. Honestly, all year, I feel like we've been playing pretty well as a defense. But today, I would have to give them also, I would give them a B plus. I would give them a B plus. Just for the simple fact that I think there was there's just some things we still have to work on. And someone hit on it right here. William Merchant hit on it. That's one of the things I'm talking about that I think we still need to work on is our red zone defense. Our red zone defense just gets torched every time for a touchdown, almost every time. Like I don't know what it is. I think right now in the red zone, what are we, 12 for 13 on touchdowns? We giving up 12 touchdowns out of 13 red zone attempts. Someone correct me. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. That's why I have to give a B plus and not an A plus because I would like to see that those adjustments made. I would like to see that played a lot better. Chopper pulled up on us. Hey, what's good with it, Chopper? He said, don't get too excited. We always blow the brakes off of them. I'll get happy about this team with a win heading into the bye. I agree with that. And that's what I mean. We can't get ahead of ourselves because we've seen us. What were we last year? We were 6-3 or 6-2, and then we end up we end up messing up. Right? We end up 6-3, and then we end up 8-8 at the end of the year. This year we started 3-0. We were just 3-2, and then now we win this game. We're 4-2. We can win the next 3 and then lose another 2 after that. We have to stay consistent. We have to keep that consistency. Quentin Booker with an A plus for the defense. See, I would just have to see more for A plus. That's the highest grade. I don't think they played at the highest grade they could possibly play at. How long before you get 100 yards rushing? I don't know about that. That's a tough one. I thought today it would have been part of the game plan to get the run game going a lot faster, but it ended up not being that. Okay, a B from Ryan. Yep. A from Gerardo. Greg got a B plus. Jorge, Coach B, and Ollie were communicating plays. You can see when Carr called audibles and moved his wideouts around. Yeah, most definitely, bro. Defense gets a B. Yeah, see, so a lot of people agree. You feel me? Yup. B from Matt. B minus. Too many points allowed. Yeah. You got kind of lackadaisical there at the end of the game, kind of giving up those garbage points. So when that happens, it's kind of like the score looks a lot better than what it really was, but we basically was whooping them. What's good with it, Jose? How you doing, boss? The numbers A minus, okay. B minus, too many missed tackles. Yeah, we did have missed tackles. That's a good point. That's a good point, Reuters 805. We had missed tackles. There was some kind of like bad penalties. I know there was some pass interference that were big plays. Also, we had some poor coverage plays, and then our red zone. Our red zone is, which is my biggest concern. Our red zone defense is rough. I didn't like that last touchdown, A minus. Yeah, most definitely. I think in order for us to have an A, I would have to see better red zone defense. I would just have to see better red zone defense. Need to stop the soft coverage on third and long. Yes, most definitely DMZ. Talk about it, yo, because this right here is what gets us in these weird situations where you have them on their first drive. I think this is what DMZ talk about. On their first drive, they are 3rd and 12, I believe. 3rd and 12. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then they pick up the first. And we're playing soft man. I believe it was soft man coverage on the Meek. I'm like, oh my goodness, 3rd and 12? How do you give up that 3rd and 12? They would have been off the field. They end up going downfield and scoring. That's tough for us. That's tough for us, man. Kelvin Torres, Brandon Parker did well today. Yes, the offensive line did well today. I will say that. I've been hard on the offensive line, but let me say, the offensive line did well today. But I think the main contributor to that is the play calling. The play calling is going to significantly help the offensive line. When you start to move the pocket, you see Carr moving outside of the pocket a lot today. You see the deep passes being solidified. You seen the run game. You seen the screens. You seen the quick throws. The play action behind the linebackers. Throws were open right there. So that right there is going to help the offensive line big time. What's the earliest that we can sign some of our one-year deal players? The earliest? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know about that one, man. I couldn't even tell you about that one. Derek Carr said it's best job not finished. Yeah. Derek Carr said it best. Job not finished. Most definitely, man. Pizzle says they wouldn't have gotten that play if it was Wade Phillips defense. Yeah. Rashard knows how to pass pro. Yes, most definitely. And that's what we missed out. Rashard definitely knows how to pass protect, man. He definitely knows how to pass protect. Drake is a liability in protection, and sometimes Morrow is. Sometimes Morrow is a liability. We are a good defense, top 15. Yes, most definitely top 15, in my opinion. I think we're top 15. We don't have to blitz in order to get to the quarterback. Like Sarkis right here says, he says 17 quarterback hits. That's work. That's work right there. The defense got 17 quarterback hits. We got 5 sacks. That's right. And then we had 8 pass deflections. 8 pass deflections. That's work. Corey Littleton was the leading defender with 11 total tackles, 7 solos and a half a sack, 1 pass deflection, 1 quarterback hit. Denzel Perriman had 11 total tackles, 6 solo tackles. And then Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs had 11 total tackles and matched Denzel Perriman with the solo tackles of 6 as well. So that was a big game. Also, who had a big game, man, John Abram. John Abram is always silently having a good game, but today he snatched the interception for himself, which I was glad to see. He did way better this time playing in that spot. He snatched the interception for himself. Ray, do you think Leatherwood gets a false start every game this year? So far, he's on pace. I wouldn't say he gets a false start on every single game this year, but I would say he gets a penalty every single game this year. So it could be potentially hand to the face. It could be a holding call. And I think or illegal man downfield. I just think he will have a penalty at least once a game. He was the highest penalized offensive lineman coming out of college. So I think that trend definitely continues, man. Nate Hobbs balling. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It just seemed like DC was more comfortable running the offense today. It did. It most definitely did, man. And the way how he was able to move people around, he was able to get to his audibles. He kind of just stood in the pocket and let the play develop, and he took some hits to make some plays happen. Also, I noticed. So y'all had to have seen that he was taking some hits, but he was able to let it go. William Merchant says DBs have to realize D line is doing his job. It can be more aggressive on third and long. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can't just sit back. I'm tired of on third and long, we just sitting back and just letting them pick us apart. Like, dude, get the quarterback. At this point, just go get the quarterback. Our secondary kind of beat up, but they attacked the ball aggressively. Yes. Yeah. The defensive line is getting there, and it is showing. 17 quarterback hits and 5 sacks. Max Crosby had 3 sacks. Yeah, Max Crosby had 3 sacks, which led the team. Quentin Jefferson had a sack. Damian Square, who we just brought up, had half of a sack, as well as Corey Littleton. So that's good right there. I could have sworn. Okay, so they gave that sack to Max Crosby and didn't give anything to Solomon Thomas. Okay. Yep. Morig should have had 2 picks. Yeah. I mean, look at Nate Hobbs. Look at that Nate Hobbs. What do you guys think about the Nate Hobbs interception? Do y'all think he really had? Make sure y'all rate the likes, yo. Y'all gotta rate the likes. Y'all gotta rate the likes. Listen to my man William. He knows what he's talking about. He's a smart man. Y'all know what to do. Hit them likes. But Merrick should have had 2 picks. What do y'all think about that Nate Hobbs interception, though? I think, I think it was a catch, but at the same time, that was a good play from Hobbs. That's just showing that he's willing to fight. He's willing to finish the play. He's going all out. Black Trunks was good with it. Black Trunks. Coach Goldberg let D. Carr and this man said Coach Goldberg let D. Carr and Gus Bradley loose, and look what happens. Domination. Yeah, man. It's hard. It's sad to say, but Gruden most definitely was messing us up the way he would script plays. Brian, man, what's good with you, dog? He said, what do you think about the rest of the season? Think we'll be good? Honestly, when everything happened before this game, on my lives previous to this, I thought we would be just fine. I still thought we were a 10-win team, which was what I was saying before the season started. I think we're just fine. I don't think just because Gruden was gone, I don't think we're going to be a lot worse. We still have the same people in place. We still have head coaches that are our coordinators now, basically. Tom Cable's been a head coach, which is the O-line coach, as we know. You got Gus Bradley, who's been a head coach before, Rod Marinelli. So with all that, I think we're just fine. Olsen and Carr hold down the offense. Bradley, Miles, they'll hold down the defense. Obviously, the special teams, the head coach will hold that down. So at the end of the day, I think we'll be fine. I still see us making the playoffs. I still see us being a 10-win team, 9 to 10 wins, and being at least a wild card team. I just think it's going to be it's a tough division. And I was saying this, people kept thinking, you're going to have to win 12, 13 games to get into the playoffs. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't. I just don't. I didn't think it in the offseason, and I still don't think that. I think that if whoever the person at the top of this division is probably going to have, I don't know, maybe 11 wins. The division winner will probably have like 11 wins. Red, how you feel about him getting benched? He had to. I mean, he was getting beat out there. You know what I mean? I think he's a good guy to bring in when it's time to let somebody rest or if somebody has to come out because of injury. But he was getting beat today, man. And you gotta call it what it is. I like Amik Robinson though. He's young, he's talented. He just has to get the comfort of the game. He has to get in there, he has to get some work. Was DC sacked at all? That's a good question, man. Yes, he was. DC was sacked twice. He was sacked by Kareem Jackson and Bryce Callahan, but those sacks were because he was running. Like he would run forward with the ball instead and just kind of stick it out, and they counted as sacks. But as far as like being in the pocket and getting hit, brought down, no, I don't think he was. There was one case where he almost was, but he threw it to Renfro, which was almost a crazy good play, but scary at the same time. He almost seemed like he could have thrown a pick. OG in the building, OG Chronicles of the Black Hole in the building. He says 12-5. My God, the numbers. How you don't name the numbers, but you don't got your numbers right? How you don't name? Where? There he is. There you go. There you go. What is your profile picture? Also, let me know what your profile picture is because I'm trying to figure out what that is. The numbers. That's interesting. That looks like some type of I don't know, like a Squid Game or something. Are we trading before the deadline? I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to speculate. Looking at the schedule, which half of the season is tougher? Let's check. So we got let me clear all this. So let's see what we got. We have the Eagles next, then we go to a bye week. We should be going into the bye week. Of course, we should be, right? We should be going into the bye week 5-2. Like, y'all could agree with me on that. We should be going into the bye week 5-2. Going up against the Giants, we have to come out with that win. We have to come out with the win against the Giants. The Chiefs, that's still going to be a tough one. I know the Chiefs aren't playing well. Me personally, I don't sleep on people. Like, I think that they're still going to be a tough game to go in and play against. I really do. It's going to be tough to beat them. We're going to have to really step it up. So we'll see what happens against the Chiefs. Then the Bengals, Cowboys, Washington football team, Chiefs again, Browns, Broncos, Colts, Chargers. Is the first half tougher than the second half? I would say yes. The way this is panning out, the way this season is panning out, I would say the second half is tougher. And the reason I say that is because we lost to the Bears. We should have never lost to the Bears. That L to the Bears set us back a lot. I don't think the Chargers did because it's a tough task. Division game, all that, everything going on in the locker rooms. But losing to the Bears, I think that messed us up. We have to beat the Eagles. We have to beat the Eagles, right? We have to beat the Giants. So the second half notable teams is the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Browns, and if y'all want to count the Colts, right? And now also, so that's four major teams, but also the Bengals. The Bengals is a potential team that we can't sleep on. Yeah, DJ. The Bears game hurt. That game hurt us. We already have 2 losses, right? Based on our record right now, we would be about a 11-6 team. We'd be about 11-6 team or a 12-5 team. Based on our record right now, based on being 4-2 right now. But let's say we do take the L's to those 4 teams, that means we still be an 11-6 win team. So say we lost against the Cowboys, the Bengals, won to the Chiefs, the Colts, and then the Browns. That's 5 losses. That put us right there at 10-7. So I mean, we'd have to really screw up in order to lose our chances of making the playoffs right now. That's honestly how I feel. We'd have to really mess up. 13-4. I don't know, man. I don't see 13-4. We definitely gonna smack the Washington football team. I hope so. The Chiefs aren't doing well, but they still gonna come to win versus us. Yeah, most definitely. And that's what I mean. I don't want us to have the mentality of going in acting like we didn't start last year with a 6-3 record and then end up 8-8. You know what I mean? I don't want the fan base thinking, oh, we're 4-2 right now, so we're only gonna win or lose 2 or 3 more games. I don't want people having that mentality. We see what happened last year and the year before that when we were 6. The year before that, I think we were 5-2 or something like that, and ended up like 7-8, or we were 5 I can't remember, but we ended up down. It's like, wow, we lost like 4 games straight. So you can't sit there and You can't sit there and tell yourself, "Oh, we're just gonna win all these games." Da da da. We should have won against the Bears. So let's not have our heads in the clouds. Let's not sit here and just start being all biased and being homers. Let's be realistic. I agree, D Raider. As far as what we need, at least 11 wins. I think to do what, to make the playoffs or to make the playoffs or win the division. I think if we get 11 wins, we win the division. That's what I honestly think. If we get 11 wins, I think we win the division. O line was atrocious in the two losses. Yeah, O line's been atrocious all year. Besides this game, in my opinion, that's my opinion. Amik needs them platform cleats. The OG tripping right now. Arkham, Ray, what do you think will be the biggest X factor against the Eagles? Oh, you already want to jump into the Eagles game? I'm ready, coach. I'm ready for the next game, coach. This dub is a dub, but that game's over. We on to the next time. That's what Arkham's thinking. Arkham's like on to the next game. Raider Jorge 415. Shout out to you, boy. He says, if we get a new coach outside the organization, do you see any way we keep Gus in company? That's what. Oh man, it's a good question, bro. And I tried answering this question before, but it's hard to say because you feel like if you get a new coach, say you get a new coach, right? I feel like if it's an offensive guy, they there's potential. If it's an offensive guy, I feel like there's a lot of potential they would keep Gus Bradley. And the reason I say that is because they have a whole staff already. But on the other side of that, you got to think the Chargers brought in, the Chargers brought in their guy, and they got a whole new defensive staff. Um, so honestly, you never really know. But at the same time, I believe the Chargers coach was a defensive guy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he the Rams' old defensive coordinator, or was it the Rams' old offensive coordinator? I can't remember. I think it was the DC though. I see us losing to the Bengals, BKC, and Cowboys. So 3 games. So you see us losing 3 games the rest of the year. That's an interesting take because we still have the football team, which you can't sleep on. I know a lot of people don't like them and think they're garbage, but we can't sleep on them. We can't sleep on the Chargers at all. We can't sleep on. I mean, we can't sleep on anybody really. No, but yeah, the Chiefs, Bengals, and the Cowboys. What about the Colts? The Colts and the Browns would be the two other ones I would say that might be a little difficult. NVD Money Leather would look good at right guard. Yeah, he looked a lot better, but he's still missing those. He's still missing those stunts, which is aggravating. Like the stunt will come inside, and he'll miss it. He'll get tunnel vision on his guy, and then he won't come out and pick up the guy coming through his gap, coming through that B gap. So he can't have that tunnel vision, and he still had a couple penalties today. I said it before the season. Now I think 12-5. We got top 10 defense. We're going to the playoffs. Our defense will just have to stay consistent and healthy. Health would be our number one thing. Health will be our number one thing. Yeah, more screens was making that pass rush tired. Hey, run, and it helps the offense, man. It helps the run game open up, the pass game open up, because the offense gets out in space. The offense gets to moving, and then the defensive line has to chase down. So he said, "Where all the car haters at now?" And I was saying this before in the pregame before the game that I thought this game had a lot on Carr's shoulders because this is really Carr's team at this point. That's how I feel about this team. This is Carr's team. Gruden can't take a lot of blame because Gruden's presence isn't felt anymore. Gruden's uh, play calling, his demand isn't there anymore. Now it's on Carr to get the job done, and he showed up. So shout out to Carr. Now we're going to have 13-4 to win the division. I don't think so, man. I still don't think so. I think five to six losses will get you. Will get you. Will you'll still win the division even after 5 to 6 losses. That's what I think. We already have 2 losses. We have 10. We have 11 more games left. We win. We win 7. Say we go 8-3 on these next ones. So that'd be a pretty good record because that'd be the 12-5. But I don't know. It's being a little optimistic. Who's leading the NFL in passing yards now? It's definitely Derek Carr. I believe so. I believe it's still Derek Carr. Yeah. Yeah, that Carr, that pass to Drake, that pass to Drake was clean. And if you watch that play, watch Carr. He doesn't even move his feet. He doesn't even move his feet. That boy just stands there and just stands tall and just drops a floater little dime in there. Loyal to the soil. This team played with hunger and determination. Without Gruden, they played as a team. Yeah, I want to say I feel like the team still played. I feel like the team always played with hunger, determination, all that kind of stuff. But the only thing that different was the play calling. Y'all know it was the play calling. Y'all know the play calling was completely different. He said Tom Brady leading the league with 2,096 yards. So potentially they're probably teeter-tottering back and forth right now. They're probably teeter-tottering. But Carr threw for 341 yards, though. He threw for 341 yards. That's nice. 28 years a Raider fan. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, Ant. Shout out to you, Ant. You gotta stay supporting the Shield. Yes, sir. Both on the pace to break records. Yeah. And it's a longer season, so True Rain says Carr's in second with 1946. Okay. So he's right behind him with wow, 50? We're only 50 yards right behind him. That first touchdown to Ruggs was caught between 2 defenders, and they were the number 2 defense. Yeah, man. Yeah. It was close because I feel like, man, you watched the game against the Steelers, and it reminds me of that when Minka Fitzpatrick barely misses him. And then right here, the safety does the same thing against the Broncos, and it was like almost the same play. So we barely, like that ball is barely making it to Ruggs, but I'm just glad Ruggs is catching it. Those force feed Ruggs. Yeah, you got to send it deep. I feel like if you send it deep to him and it's like a high risk but low, high reward, low risk. Because if you just throw it deep and it's 1-on-1, I'd rather you just kind of like give him a chance to where he only can get the ball, not throw it in like too much coverage. Ray, do you think Ruggs is a true number 1 wide receiver? I think he's proven it this year. All right, let's talk about Ruggs. Let's talk about Ruggs. I think with Ruggs, he would have to do more in the underneath game. I'd have to see more slants out of him and then run after the catch. I would have to see a nice little post in between the corner and safety to where he catches real quick. I'd have to see stuff like that. Some more hitch routes, back shoulder throws. You have to catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage, then run for about 5 yards as if it were just a nice run play. So I have to see stuff like that for me to say he's a true number 1. I know we see him in a lot of long balls. He catches it deep, goes for the touchdown, all that kind of good stuff. Of course, that's what he's brought in for. He's a fast guy. He's a speedy guy. That's what he's meant to do. But if he's not going to go out there and be able to just get the first down real quick on a 5-yard hitch, you know what I mean, back shoulder or something like that, then he's not really truly a number 1. I feel like that's not even really his play style. We've tried to see there's been probably 2 or 3 games to where we've seen a mixed chemistry between Ruggs and Carr and then Edwards and Carr. This game alone, we've seen a difference between the chemistry in both of them as well. But even with Edwards, he throws a back shoulder to Edwards where Surtain was in coverage and had his back to the quarterback, but Edwards kept going upfield instead of coming back for the ball. So I feel like we have to see the chemistry and we have to see different route running from Ruggs for him to be a true number wide receiver. That's my thought on Ruggs right there. We need to see some more route concepts from him. He needs to be running routes like Renfro in order to be a number 1. Because if Renfro had Ruggs' size and speed, Renfro would be the number 1. But if Ruggs had Renfro's route running, then it'd be deadly. But as he gets stronger, you will see more of him. Yeah, we'll have to see him. Well, I got to see him inside the trenches. I got to see him in between the hash. underneath the safety to say he's a true number one. That's what I want to see from him. If Ruggs had Hunter's route tree, then Ruggs would be look. Like we're basically great minds think alike, right? So we're basically exactly. Ruggs can't juke. He is all straight line speed. He won't make people miss. I agree with you, DMZ, and I'm not knocking Ruggs. I'm not knocking Ruggs or anything. I agree with you though. The difference is So let's just use these two because they're so fast. Tyreek Hill versus Ruggs. Ruggs is fast, just taking off. He'll take off and he's gone, right? But Tyreek Hill can do that. Also, Tyreek Hill can stop and go like that. Like he's flash in the instant. Boom, boom, juke. He'll make you miss. He's shaky. He's quick, speedy. Ruggs, he's just fast. He's gone. That's it. He's not gonna sit there and juke back and forth and then twist, twirl, go across the field and all sorts of stuff. He also doesn't have the greatest vision when it comes to running the ball. He doesn't have the best vision. So I would have to see more from Ruggs to say he's a true number one. The only real number one we've had, yeah, it was Crabtree. Because even though Cooper is still a quality wide receiver, even though he's really good, he like is inconsistent, so he kind of falls out. He's wishy-washy. He's inconsistent. So Cooper, it was hard for him to be number one, but Crabtree most definitely had that drive to be a number one. Queen Rhetoric. Yo. Randy Moss didn't juke dudes. Ruggs has a 42 inch vertical and stick him his. Ruggs didn't juke dudes. Randy Moss didn't juke dudes, but he was so fast in the way he could move that he could just get away from people. We haven't really seen that from Ruggs. Ruggs' acceleration isn't there. Ruggs doesn't have the best acceleration. He has more of that high end speed. So once he gets to moving upfield, then he's gone. Oh my goodness. Hey, Ron, I remember when Rod Streeter was number one wide receiver. That's tough, bro. Streeter? I remember Rod Streeter, man. I remember that. I met Rod Streeter's dad in North Carolina. When I was stationed at Fort Bragg, I met Rod Streeter's dad in North Carolina at, I want to say Walmart, because I seen this dude with a Raiders hat. And I'm like, man, for being out here, I don't really see a lot of people wearing Raiders hats. This was in North Carolina. Probably 6, or probably not 6, probably like 7 years ago now. And he was like, yeah, my son, he played for the Raiders, blah, blah, blah. And he said Rod Streeter. So that was interesting. Or actually, that wasn't North Carolina. I was stationed in North Carolina, but we were visiting. We were in Virginia going to Dominions or like some type of amusement park. I think it was called Dominions or King's Dominions or something like that in Virginia. And that's where I seen Rod Streeter's dad. That's funny you bring him up. Raiders coming in late, but love the win. Yeah, we started off pretty good. Ross Streeter and Demarius Moore were, yeah, that was tough. I remember having Darius Hayward Bay. I mean, we've had some times. We had some times, yo. Where was that O line the last two games though? Yeah, most definitely. The O line definitely stepped it up, but I was saying earlier, Queen Raiderette, that I think a lot has to do with the play calling. When you have certain plays put in place, it really helps the offensive line get the moving. It helps the offensive line and get ahead, get a step on those pass rushers because those pass rushers sometimes just start teeing off. So when you drop a screenplay, for instance, right up the middle, those pass rushers going straight up the field. Now they're like, oh, we got to double back. We got to look for the screen. Same thing when it comes to passes to the running back like we did. It's going to open up things in the middle of the field. It's going to make the pass rushers do things a little bit differently. They'll probably have to start chipping at the running back coming out of the back of the field because they're going to it'll help the linebackers in coverage. So a lot of things we did, I think, starts with the Paramount's King's Dominion. Yeah, man. Starts with the play calling. I think that's today. It all started with the play calling. That's why we were able to come out and put points on the board on our first drive in how many games? 11 games. It's been 11 games since we scored on our first drive of the game. So, that's why I think it was the game. the play calling. And that's what I've been saying since before this game. I've been saying, it was John Gruden's play calling. It's as simple as that. It was his play calling. It was his scripts. It not necessarily that he was a bad play caller, but the way he scripted games, it didn't tailor to what we had to do. It wasn't tailored to how poor our offense was. What player surprised you the most this game? For me, it was Drake. He's finally putting it together and balling out. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, he did surprise me. 2 touchdowns, that's a surprise, especially after how he's been playing these last few games. So that's an interesting thing right there. Definitely a surprise. Peter says Max Crosby will be the next Raider great DN. Yeah, man, he's definitely. When people want to talk about Max Crosby, to me, I think the most interesting thing is the contract. I'm just curious to what this contract is supposed to be like when it comes to Max Crosby. Like, how much money is it going to cost to keep him on the team? And are you guys going to want to sign him? How much are you guys willing to give Max Crosby? Because at this point in time, y'all got to be honest with yourselves. Max Crosby is going to get a nice contract. He's going to get a nice contract. If we gave Yannick, what did we give Yannick? 12 a year? Or was it 15? Was it 12 or 15? I think we gave Yannick 15, some 12 to 15. But would we give Max Crosby more than Yannick? I feel like we would, honestly. And that's gonna be a pocket check right there. Do you think Gruden was holding back Drake? Yes. Yes, I do. I think Gruden was holding back a lot of people. Everybody on here know when they at their job and somebody get axed, they all straighten up. I think the way I definitely agree with you, Greg, but I think the way John Gruden got, fired kind of is different. You know what I mean? I don't think other people were tripping about their emails and what they were saying to owners of other franchises from 10 years ago. But when people do get fired, you know what I mean? Then yeah, most definitely. Brandon Parker definitely stepped it up and was definitely 15 mil per year minimum, probably. Okay, 15. I think he's going to need more than 13. I think he's going to need more than 13 numbers. I really think so. Okay, so Yannick get 13. Okay, numbers is saying 13. That's what Yannick. Okay. So that's what his numbers are saying. So 13. Okay. And Silent Goldie saying he might. So Max probably get 15 mil. What do y'all think Max is going to need? 15 per from Max is a bargain. Oof. If 15 a mil a year is a bargain, then that's sheesh. I'll pay. That's the thing. We already paid Yannick. Like, we're already paying Yannick. Man, Max is better than Yannick. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If we're paying Yannick 13 a year, how much are we gonna have to pay Crosby if Crosby's better than Yannick? That's my point. That's my point. How much are we gonna have to pay Max Crosby? That's just one guy. Or are we gonna want to keep Abram, Crosby, Jacobs? We also got to extend Carr. We also got to keep Ruggs. You feel me? Who else we got to keep on this team? All of our defensive tackles are on 1-year contracts. I think Cleveland Farrell is fair to say he's gone, but who else we gonna keep? Silent Goldie, 15 to 18, but 21 max. Holy, 21. That hurts my soul to hear that. To pay somebody that money. Said no. I think we have cap space. Next year we have. Excuse me. Next year we got cap space, y'all. Next year we have. We're top 5 in cap space next year. Depends on Max's agent. He might ask for more, or say if you don't give me 15, I'm out. Yeah, it does depend. I don't know how Max is going to be, but I don't think Max is going to want a lot of money. That's my personal opinion. I think this day and age, this maybe not this new generation. I don't know. I'm not going to lump everybody in the lump sum, but when you become like these guys are team players almost, and they're going to say like, hey, 15 mil. I think I can live off of 15 mil a year. You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me like Steph Curry when Steph Curry took his deal. He was like, if you can't survive off 10 million a year, then you got other problems. So it's like I think Crosby could have the same potential idea like that. Like, yo, 10 mil a year, 15. Not saying he's gonna take 10 mil. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the theory of it. Is that these guys aren't gonna sit here and say, I want a max deal. I want to be the highest paid defensive end in the league. I don't think that's gonna be the case. I don't think that's gonna be the case. And Max has a Raider tattoo. You feel me? I don't think he's gonna sit there and fight over a contract to say, no, I don't want 16 million a year. I want 20 million. I don't think that's going to be Max Crosby. I honestly don't, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. ONT6, brother, you already know it's good. My boy pulled up with a super chat. He says, I think Olsen will only get better with this play calling. It was his first time calling plays in a long time. Max is going to be yep. He's going to be ready for life. Yeah. There's no way he doesn't re-sign with the team. I mean, like it would be tough as a Raider fan if we let him walk somehow or something happens. Then freed up 10 million from Gruden's contract. Boy, you wild, yo. You wild, yo. Hold on, we got over 200 in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button, yo. I'm telling you right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let me see. We got 136 likes and we got over 200 people in the chat, yo. Rate the like button. Y'all need to rate the like button, yo. Come on, hit the like button. Y'all killing me right now. Y'all killing me right now. What? Get the likes up, yo. We got over 200 in the chat, and y'all telling me that we got only 145 likes. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Come on, we get a W today, and we having trouble hitting the like button. Rate the like button. Yes, sir. You already know the numbers. Yes, sir. Ray Love. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. Yes, sir. Raider 530. You see it. Williams says Cap should go up to 40 million. Nassib and Quick give us 20. If Edward steps up, we don't need a big time wide receiver. We can sign Carl Max, Abram Jacobs, and a defensive tackle. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. Because think about it. Would y'all not want to go sign Devontae Adams if he's available? Would y'all want to get him? That would be a big contract, but would you want to use money to get him? And in the meantime, while you're listening, hit them likes. Get those likes up. Bing. Sub and hit the like every time. I got you. Yes, sir, brother. Appreciate you. Over here playing with the man. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. But let's get back to this comment. So the cap should go at 40 million. That's an interesting take. So if it does go up, okay. But at the same time, would y'all want to go get Devontae Adams if he's available? We talked about this a lot in the early before this season. If there's a number wide receiver, I think we have to. I think we have to. Like, I think it's that a wide receiver. We have to go get one, and then also a defensive tackle. I still want to go get a defensive tackle. All our defensive tackles are on 1-year contracts, so we're gonna have to hit the likes, nation. We gotta support. Yes, sir, brother. Appreciate the kind words, man. Yes. Shoot, if Devontae Adams available, who wouldn't want that baller? Exactly, man. But the thing is, I feel like we have that advantage by having Card. That's just my personal opinion. They was locked in at Fresno State. They from the same area. They both from Cali. Devontae Adams got to come in. We have to bring him in if he's available, and we're gonna have to use some money for that. And he says, yes, Devontae Adams. Yes, most definitely, bro. Little to the shore, our main concern is corners. You think so? That's an interesting. Tell me why. Why do you think our main concern is corners, low to the soil? Because I feel like the fact that our offensive line hasn't played well. Yes, this past game they played pretty cool, but think about it like this. Are we going to trust this offensive line for the next 3 to 4 years? Or do we want a guy to come back and replace Richie Incognito's production or get a different kind of right tackle? Because think about it. We just drafted a right tackle in Leatherwood and moved him to right guard, which looks like he's going to stay at right guard. So what exactly are we going to do with that situation? Is Brandon Parker a right tackle now? It's just curious right there. So Say you don't say offensive line, wide receiver. Are y'all trusting these wide receivers? Draft a D tackle? Yeah, most definitely. I think so, but I don't know if there's any big time, prime time kind of defensive tackles in the draft this year. Um, it's been kind of slim pickings, you know. You think about last year, the best defensive tackle was Christian Barmore, and the Patriots got him. So Raid was good. We look different out there today. Fresh start. We need to keep it up. Yeah, it definitely seemed like a fresh start. The offense definitely seemed different. So Carl Waller Adams, yeah. Carl Waller Adams, Ruggs, Jacobs, Renfro. Like, come on, you add Adams to that, then Carr will have his number one guy, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. You would have Ruggs on one side, Adams on another side, then Waller. We'd have no excuse but to move the football. And then Jacobs in the backfield. Like, come on. Resign Solomon Thomas. If Solomon Thomas keeps it up with this, yeah, we're gonna have to resign him. We're gonna have to resign him. He's looking fresh. Looked like Solomon Thomas getting a first start with the Las Vegas Raiders, and he's looking very promising. Next year should be all defense and O line. Yeah. Um, you're right, man. You're 100% right, D Raider, because running backs were straight with running backs. We got Rashard, Jacobs, and Drake, right? And then with wide receiver, we already have our three young dudes in Renfro, Edwards, and Ruggs. Then what? We pick up some guys in free agency. Okay. Our offensive line, like you said, offensive line is all we need. We know our quarterback is. We just need a solid interior offensive lineman or at right tackle, whatever we go. And then on the defensive side of the ball, all our D tackles are on 1 year contracts. We know we're going to have to go get a D tackle unless we bring them all back or something crazy. Say we bring back Q Jeff, Solomon Thomas, and Hankins. So we bring back those three guys right there. On the edge, we have Yannick and Max Crosby, as well as Nassim. Okay. We probably have to go, and then linebacker. We probably have to see what our linebackers look like at the end of this season because of the injuries. That's where we took a lot of injuries early on in the season. We got to see where Javin White is. Let's not forget about Javin White. I like Javin White. His speed is something that we're definitely missing in the linebacker core. Who's our fastest linebacker right now? Like, who's our fastest linebacker? I mean, Diablo. He don't even play. Diablo don't even play. He said, "We are scared with no, we are scarce. Oh, we are scarce. I don't know. He's saying like scarce, like limited, like don't have much of a deep threat or wide receivers. Draft the best player available. We have subtle needs in several areas, but we're able to fill some of the ills through. Yeah, that's a good take, Larry Fleming. Definitely. We definitely just have to get the best player available. Most definitely. Can't wait to hear Shay Sharp. Yep, Shannon Sharp hater picked us to lose. Yeah, most definitely. One thing about Shannon Sharp though is that I will say is he defended Carr. That was solid. You know what I mean? That was solid. He defended Carr. He said Bosa was acting like a dude that doesn't know how to win, and that Carr played very well. He bounced back, and that even after taking hits, he was playing well. So whatever Bosa was saying was um, not true. White's quick, man. 40. Okay, yep. 42. Littleton. Littleton is definitely our fastest linebacker, but with Littleton being as fast as he is, to say Javin White is even faster, that right there adds a lot of versatility to our linebacker core. So I'm excited to see what Javin White brings. Um, our cornerback situation is interesting because, like someone mentioned earlier, Amico Robinson was pulled, and it's just tough to see that because I like Amik Robinson. You know, I like the fight in him. He's a little bit smart, but I like the fight in him. He was just getting beat too much. He was beat last game. In this game, he got beat. I beat 2 or 3 times. And it's just tough to see that, man. So looking at the cornerback situation, we got Trayvon Mullen, Casey Hayward, Hobbs, and those are pretty much our three corners right there. Now, say Casey Hayward's a little bit older. Say we keep Casey Hayward around for 2 more years. right? He's playing this well. Say we keep him around for 1 more year or 2 more years. We got Trayvon Mullen and Hobbs. That's our set, but we're still going to need depth there. Strong safety. We know Abrams is solid. We got to keep him around. Trayvon Merrick is looking like a very disciplined single high free safety, which is definitely good. So he got his first pick today, and he's who I wanted to draft. So they said Amik is horrible. I want to say Amik is horrible. He just plays it way too safe. Amik just plays it way too safe. Now Diablo, our fastest linebacker, he running a 4.42. Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. Diablo don't really play. He is fast. He is faster than the other guys, but he don't play, which is interesting. I only see him on the special teams. Hobbs is legit, but the rest are injury prone except Amik. He too small. Yeah, Amik just can't keep playing soft. I feel like Amik be playing soft too much. Amik was getting beat, played off too much, and always doing that dive and tackle bullshit. Yeah, I was gonna say he playing way too far off. Like he's just afraid to get beat deep. He just needs to play the man. Just play the dude. Like you're playing way too far off. All right, y'all. Go ahead and put y'all grade for the overall game. Overall game, coaching, special teams, players, offense, defense. Put the grade in the chat. Let me know what y'all think overall game. I think if I have to give a grade for the overall team this game, I would have to give a B plus. I think it was solid on the offensive side of the ball. I think it was solid on special teams and on defense. I give the coaches B plus after everything that happened this past week. It was tough mentally, emotionally. Everything that happened, that was crazy. John Gruden just going like that. And then coming out and whooping on the Broncos like this. The offense played well, put up 34 points. Carr had 2 touchdowns. Drake had 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had a touchdown. Carr throwing over 300 yards again. The defense playing well had 4 turnovers? I believe they had 2 interceptions or 3 interceptions and a recovered fumble. So the defense played very well. They had 5 sacks, 4 sacks. What was it? 5 sacks? Let me check. 5 sacks, 17 quarterback hits, 8 pass deflections, a tackle for a loss. We had 3 different guys with 11 total tackles, and 2 of them were linebackers, which is good because in the past we used to have a safety as a leading tackler, and if your safety is leading your team in tackles, that is not good. That's terrible. That means every play is getting 5 to 7, 8 yards probably. I see an A, B, A. So okay, my guy says an S plus. Where do you find it? What? He probably meant A plus. Okay, B minus. As long as I don't see any A pluses, you feel me? A minus. Okay. The reason I say I can't say an A is because I feel like offense, some of our drives were kind of stagnant, and then on defense we had some weird penalties. Not only that, but we gave up some wishy-washy touchdowns. And then on special teams, we had on the punt game, which we were booting it, but it was too many touchbacks. And then in the field goals, we missed a easy field goal. So that's why I have to give a B plus all the way around. I can't really crack to the A grade yet. Yes, sir. And we run, brother. And on that note, y'all, I'm going ahead and let y'all go. It's been over an hour. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Y'all know what it is. Until next time, y'all, ready to take.